the Dragon Power novelization, the NES Dragon Ball game that was ported over and stripped of all of its Dragon Ball references. At the very, very beginning of this book, there's a note that says it was inspired by the Worlds of Power book series. In the early 1990s, author and entrepreneur Seth Godin was talking with his young nephew and realized that the kid did not read for pleasure. Now, Godin asked what they did instead, and the boy said they liked video games. Wanting to get children into reading, Godin came up with the idea of turning kids' favorite games into novels, and he pitched it to Nintendo with a selection of their games proposed as the first round of books to adapt. Nintendo said no. Godin takes the idea to third-party game companies like Capcom, Tecmo, Sunsoft, I think a couple others, and they came to an agreement. They then worked with writers and Scholastic Books and got the project rolling.
They wanted the books to be accessible to children, so they removed as much of the violence and killing as they could, even making serious changes to the stories in some cases, such as revealing at the end of Ninja Gaiden that Ryu's father did not die, or that the Blaster Master monsters are just holographic projections. In the Metal Gear adaptation, Solid Snake has his arsenal of weapons, but only ever pistol whips enemies into unconsciousness. Much of this was a requirement from Scholastic Books, who even asked for references to witchcraft be removed, which is an ironic bit of censorship, as Scholastic would ultimately be the ones who published the Harry Potter books in the United States.
Yeah, and it also, if you look up the covers, the one that immediately springs to mind that I can picture is the cover of Mega Man 2 in the Worlds of Power book takes the gun out of Mega Man's hand. Metal Gear does that too. On the cover of Metal Gear, Snake has a gun in his hands, and now he's just like holding his hands in what looks like could be very fertile ground for Photoshoppers to throw some male body parts into his hands. Same with Ninja Gaiden. He's like, I think on the cover of the game, carrying a blade or a sword in one hand, and that's been airbrushed out. So they went pretty far with trying to make these like very as kid friendly as they could.